it seems like Sadio Mane isn't staying out of the headlines for one reason or another. This again coming in from Fabrizio Romano this time says Bayern Munich will continue talks with Liverpool for Sadio Mane in the coming days in the hope of reaching an agreement. Liverpool are reluctant to sell unless they receive a substantial offer. Klopp would ideally also want a replacement lined up first. Now, the numbers in euros that we're seeing at the minute are probably about 40 million euro all in, including bonuses. My big annoyance with this, Chris, is again, if this is being played out, and we know Munich want him, we know he wants Munich, why this bullshit when he's been interviewed about not knowing where his next move will be and not knowing what he's going to do and still not making his announcement? It's just, I don't like people being taken for idiots, and I feel like we're being taken for idiots. He knows. We all know. Just fucking say it. Just say you're going to move this summer.
I suppose on the face of it, yeah, it can be frustrating, but I wonder whether he thinks that if he does say something so definite that he could potentially put a dent in negotiations or at least change the negotiations. That would be my only sort of defense.
I just feel like he's willfully being deceitful at this point.
I don't know. Genie was the same though, in terms of,
and I get the feeling that both of them feel maybe correctly pissed off by their treatment. I'd love to get the inside scoop on what actually happened with Genie, because I think we all think he was screwed over by FSG with a pissy offer. Yeah, and I probably feel the same way about Mane, that he probably just got to the point where he's like, no, want to move.
To be fair, though, I think they've been proven right with Genie. Absolutely. I think they've been proven absolutely right with the way that we have developed and the way that he has developed or regressed. I don't think he would have been worth the money that he potentially was demanding. And maybe they don't think Mane is, but I genuinely do think he is. And a lot of fans do, and probably Jurgen Klopp does. But if Mane goes to Bayern and stinks up the gaff, he'll be thought to be an absolutely incredible piece of business.
I'll move on to the footballing side of it in a sec. But Paddy, I just want to get your thoughts on it, because how do I put this in a respectful way? His agent will be speaking to other clubs and will have been sounding out and hearing offers. Anybody in the position with 1 year left on the contract would. It's the right thing to do. So it's just this nonsense about, I'll let everyone know after the Champions League final. Well, you're almost at a point, mate, where clubs are about to agree a fee and you've still let nobody know shit. For me, I would rather if he just said nothing. Just said no comment, went about his business, got his move. We'd all have wished him well done. I guess the reason it worries me, Paddy, is I like him so much that I don't want him to ruin his legacy in any way.
Well, yeah, I'm in the exact same viewpoint as you. Listen, I think we can talk about FSG not offering what he deserves. That's fair enough. But you look at what's going on with Lewandowski at Bayern. He's just, as he said to himself, something's died inside of him. He wants a new challenge. If that's the case with Mane, you have to respect it as well, I think. But again, I think the way he's spoken about it already it's just not the way to do it. Speaking ill of the club or just speaking like that about the club will only bring negativity from the fan base. And Sadio Mane is one of the last players that should have any negative twinge towards him. So the best thing to do is just stop talking about it. Let the clubs, if the clubs agree a fee, do it that way. Make it amicable and leave right off into the sunset with a complete trophy cabinet, and that's it.
Yeah, we can't be overly naive here either, Chris. We know from the world that we're in that journalists pose these questions to get a response so they can get their headline. I get that as well. That's why I'm always nervous when people go off on international duty, because shithousery starts all the time.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. That's the job, unfortunately, is that the more clicks you get, the more money you get. And if the way to do that is to ask provoking questions, it's a sad reality. You have to do that. But it's a shame, man. It really is. It shouldn't be what journalism's about.
I'm still, lads, I have to say, I'm still extremely, extremely shocked that Sadio Mane was on 80 grand a week less than Bobby Firmino. I mean, whatever, because they all renewed at the same time. This is what makes it so confusing for me. They all renewed around the same time.
Apparently, he's wasn't on 100. He was more on 150.
Okay, if that
was on the Anfield talk today.
Hopefully that is the case, because I'd always said that one transfer wage didn't seem right. You know, I'd heard 140 by some, but it was always seemed to be reported widely as 100 when you Google it or looked into it.
His original salary was, but when he renewed in 2018, I think it was, it moved up to 150. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
fair.
they said. I personally don't know that, but that's from the Anfield talk today.